Hello and welcome to another review of a film that I've seen on Mubi. This time I'm reviewing the film Earwig, directed by Lucile Hadžhalilović. So this is a really haunting, disturbing, unsettling, confusing film. It could be a horror film, but I think if you really like horror films, you're probably not going to be fully satisfied with it. There is horror in this film, but I would say overall it's more of a mood piece. It's a proper art house movie, and it's definitely evocative of David Lynch films. I think this does require some patience. I've reviewed a few films recently that require patience, and I can understand why some people might hate it. Let's start with what's fantastic about this film. The cinematography is wonderful. There are yellow, stale interiors which just are so evocative and so nightmarish. And then the exteriors are very grey and foggy, and this is just consistently good. I loved the look of this film, even though it's nightmarish and it's not a comfortable place to be, particularly inside the house. And then also the park scene. We're in the park at least twice in the film. That seems kind of hyper real because the green, the colours and the water and the trees are so natural and seem so vivid compared to the rest of the film. So I love the cinematography. This is a beautiful film to look at. The sound also is extraordinary, I think. There's very little dialogue in this film. And it has that quality that I've spoken about before, where there is such little sound that small sounds become very significant. And particularly the sound that our main character, Mia, makes with her teeth. She makes these kind of small noises with her mouth, like saliva noises, clicking noises, and the smallest noises are noticeable. Again, I had headphones on, so I became super sensitive to the smallest sounds. This film has the breadcrumbs of a narrative, but everything is so ambiguous. What are those ice teeth about? I guess that teeth are often a subject of nightmares, and it must be something related to that. But it's so bizarre with the contraption to catch the saliva and the refreezing of the saliva to make a new set of teeth. It's just so strange. Also ambiguous is whether Mia, the girl, is happy. Sometimes she's smiling, sometimes she's playing, but there are always sinister undertones. And at one point she throws herself in the water. I'm not clear at that point whether she's trying to kill herself or whether she's just never seen water before and she's just amazed to jump into it. There's also real ambiguity with the timeline. We're not quite sure what's happening when, whether we definitely see some scenes twice from different angles. And also there's big ambiguity in the relationship between the characters, whether in fact one character is another character, or and I really liked that. The ending is very eccentric and definitely would fall into the category of horror, and really ambiguous again. And also the other big ambiguity, there's a lot of ambiguities here, is the painting. We keep seeing this painting of this mansion. And I think that the painting's different when we look at it at different times. At some times the house seems to be on fire, and at other times the fire doesn't seem to be present in this painting. And both Albert and Mia look at this painting several times throughout the film, so this does seem very significant. So all those ambiguities, for me, they work really well. They do give a sense of something emerging, even though by the end of it I don't really know what it is. It is an extremely slow moving film, so as I said, it does require some patience, but there are three extremely violent scenes. Now, I was talking recently about the way Lars von Trier crosses the line of bad taste in my review on the house that Jack built. This one never crosses the line. In fact, although they are very violent scenes, they're quite short, they're not gratuitous, and they don't affect the overall kind of very slow-moving, gentle nature of this film. About 45 minutes into this film, there's a conversation in the bar where Albert is talking with a stranger. And there is something really compelling about this scene. I don't know what it is. It's almost like unnatural acting, but it's hyper real. It's like every sip of the drink that the characters have is super kind of present, and there's a rumbling builds up. There's a sense of kind of terror and imminent something about to happen. I think this conversation in the bar is critical, and indeed the character, the stranger that he talks to, does emerge again at the end of the film. So it feels that if I was to watch this film again, I would really want to focus on that scene, because it feels like if there is something to understand in this film, that scene is key. Overall, I do recommend this film. I'm not really sure what it's about. I think it's probably, as with David Lynch films, really about the subconscious. Is this really happening, or is it all in the mind of Albert? That is possible. There's possibly something supernatural in this film, so it's possibly not just about the subconscious. Again, there's lots of ambiguity. I think this is potentially a masterpiece in the way that it's made and the kind of discomfort that it evoked for me, that nightmarish quality. But it does also require endurance and patience, as I said, and I could completely understand if someone really does not like this film. If you're in the mood for weird art house cinema, then this film could be for you, and I would definitely watch it. Next time I'm reviewing the film Starfuckers, directed by Antonio Marziali. See you next time.